Hello. I thought I would take this moment to elaborate in our month of emotional intelligence and self-awareness, the idea of all of the personal preference assessments. You may know them better named as personality tests, but I look at them as personal preference assessments. What do I prefer? How do I engage in this if I could choose? My personal preferences. What comes to the surface for you? So through the years, I have done a large amount of personal preference assessments with teams, and I even encourage veterinary teams and individuals to do their own. But even consider when I created Catalyst and I chose this logo because we are wonderfully in a team, all of these colors. Yes, it can cause opportunities for conflict and wonderful opportunities for resolution. And it creates wonderful synergy too, because if we were all shades of gray and black, you know how boring that would be. Luckily and thankfully, we are all of these colors of the colorful wheel on our teams. And I like to use that visual to get this started. So I'll be telling you a bit about where I am in these personal preferences and things and how I came about to know how wonderful they are. So when I'm working with teams and we're talking about communication styles and when do people first start learning all of this differences and self-awareness, think about you in the horoscopes. I'll ask how many of you read horoscopes or did when you were a child, and those that are bold enough, their hands will go up. Because that's when we first started realizing how do we connect with and how do we interact with the people in my family, because most often we know the astrological signs of people in our family. I'm a Pisces. I'm a totally water fish, go with the flow, be the creative piece in that. But I'm going to also show you some other things. So there are a plethora of different personal preference assessments, personality tests that work wonderfully for the individual in self-awareness and even as a team in how do we work together? How do we communicate together? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? How do we complement each other? How are we synergistic in that kaleidoscope of colors? The one is Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs will help you understand if you're sensing, feeling, judgmental. There's a whole slew of things. You can imagine I am more of an extrovert in that. I will create a web page that shows and links you to all of these personal preference assessments. Myers-Briggs, one of the first ones. Probably when I was in my mid-30s is when I first did these, and I was like, my gosh, this is awesome. It showed why visually on an atlas and axis, where am I? And I am very much on the creativity side of things, as you can imagine. Another great one is Gallup Clifton Strengths. I did this for the first time just a couple of years ago. My highest, most strongest strength is strategy. Blew me away when I learned that, and I was in my 50s. Great assessment tool. I'm also high in vision, the creativity piece. Wonderful as an individual and team assessment. DISC assessments. Showing its dominance. I can't remember all of them, but I'm a high D, high I in this. This is wonderful even for, and a number of veterinary industries use this even when you're hiring someone. All opportunities for personal preference assessments. True colors. When I was working with the Colorado State University, helping to be one of their mentors during their veterinary student orientation. They would send them into the mountains and they would do a weekend orientation. It was incredible. When the first couple of years they did that, they did Myers-Briggs testing, and it was very involved, and there's so many more different intricacies to it. And then into, I think, the third year when we were doing these orientations, we introduced True Colors, which I feel is an awesome assessment for veterinary teams because it's very visual, as you can imagine. I am a flaming orange when we look at colors. Now keep in mind, this is not to put people into a stereotypical box. That's not what this is about. And when you introduce assessments, letting your teams know that it's about personal self-awareness. That's where this is coming from. Who am I? How can I see this? It's a different view of your communications, preferences, how you come about and show up. True Colors is the bold and the harmony. There's good as gold, and then even the science aspects of this. This is the one that I prefer to use with teams. Oftentimes, industry partners will come into a veterinary hospital and do the animals as a personal preference assessment. And I think it's very much based in these ideas and distinctions in True Colors. There are more. This is ample, and it gives you, if you wish to choose something that works for you. Myers-Briggs, True Colors, there's Enneagram, DISC, the Strengths Finders, Clifton Strengths, to give you a good start. I recommend you, if you've never done one of these, to do it. And I encourage you to share, even in the comments below, what you've done as a personal preference assessment, how it was enlightening for you and helped you in self-awareness, and if you did it with a team, what was that experience like? Thank you so much for participating and being part of Veterinary Teams Living Well. I love and shower all of you with your distinct characteristics and what you bring to the table. We need all of you to show up bold and bright in all that you do to make our veterinary teams stronger, more efficient, adaptable, and diverse. All right, love you. Bye.